Welcome to episode 36 of the Realtor for Hoopers interview series. Today's guest is a Denver East graduate and the 2008 Colorado State Player of the Year. 2018. 18, yeah. My fault. Daylen Kountz.
What's up?
Appreciate you, man.
Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a switch. Realtor for Hoopers, welcome to the main event. I'ma give the people what they ask for. Whole squad moving like a task force. We move with military precision, accomplishing any mission. In 2020 division, just don't see no competition, don't see no opposition. We on top of the game, we not one and the same. I'm Stephen Curry, the range, I Allen I with the cross. I'm Kobe Bryant, the fade. I'm one that's calling the plays. Now what else more can I say?
Well, the question we start off everyone with is tell us your basketball story. You can go as deep as you want. Start as early as you want, but just tell us your story.
Yeah, pretty much like been from Denver all my life. The Denver Green Valley Range area, kind of out by the airport. Yeah, I played pretty much since I can remember. I played football and basketball, and then it got to a point where I was like, basketball is a sport.
Yeah.
But I went to George Washington High School. Then I went to East for my last 2 years, and then after that, I ended up going to Colorado Boulder for 2 years, and then UNC for 3 years.
Okay. And then since, what was the main, I'm going to ask you just a follow-up question here. What was the main kind of reason from going from CU Boulder to UNC? Was it just playing time? Was this a better fit?
Yeah, just playing time, better fit. Like, everything was good at Colorado. I just think it was a situation for me where I felt like I just needed to have more reps. More reps just to kind of like be able to, learn more. I think I learned better just having more reps and just kind of being put in the right position for me to excel.
Okay. And then after UNC, you've had an overseas career. Where are the spots you've played overseas?
Yep. So I just finished up my second year. My first year was in Montenegro, and then this past year I was in Hungary.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Montenegro is beautiful.
Yeah, I liked it there. I was in the main city, Podgorica, so I was like an hour away from the beach kind of.
Got it.
In Buva, it was pretty nice.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, one of my favorite questions to ask any overseas pros is because it's a whole different world out there. So one of my favorite questions to ask is tell us a crazy story about playing overseas, whether that's a certain game or something like that. What pops in your head?
Surprisingly, I've had like too many crazy stories.
Yeah,
just like knowing how it's been. Like, a lot of people usually have crazy stories, but I'd probably say the craziest one is like my first year we played in like a further part of Montenegro, and it snows there.
Okay.
So like it was after like a crazy snowstorm they had there, and there was no heat in the gym.
Oh.
So it was like they had the heaters trying to blow on the court, and it was just like when you talk, you could see your breath. And I think the whole game, I don't think anybody sweated. It was just like, it was just like one of them games where everybody's going to the rim. No
so
jumpers.
cold. You can't even feel your hands.
Yeah, it was like you warmed up in a hoodie and sweats and still wasn't sweating.
Wow, that'd be tough.
Yeah,
that'd be real
that's
tough.
probably the craziest thing I've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, good, man. What about so I guess now you're kind of in an off-season period. What is kind of a skill, intangible or tangible, that you're trying to like continue to grow in as a player?
I think honestly, I just kind of want to grow all around. I mean, just of course, like the mentality side, just knowing that I had to keep getting more mature. As I go from level to level, and as far as like skill-wise on the court, just kind of a little bit of everything. Just being able to make better reads, be smarter, getting stronger, of course. It's real physical there, but that's kind of the main thing.
Okay, cool, man. So then what about for any kind of youth players coming up, what's kind of a piece of advice, whether they're elementary school or getting into the high school ranks, like what is one piece of advice that you would suggest for them?
I would say just continue to work. Like everybody's schedule or everybody's route isn't the same,
Okay.
Some people's look different, some people's maybe faster, some people's maybe longer, but it's just like do what works best for you,
Okay. And then do you think is there a certain skill that you've seen overseas, kind of a follow-up question here, is there a certain skill overseas that you've seen that like my age or younger kids need to make sure they need to have that if they're going to go play overseas? Has there been something where you didn't really get that type of development in America, where overseas that either it's intangible or intangible that you need to have if you're going to have a successful overseas career? Is there something that pops in your head with that?
I would say like the game is a lot more fundamental there.
Okay.
Like as far as like, you know, I feel just being there and seeing how like, you know, how they have when the kids when they're growing up playing, it's not like
they're pros when they're 14.
Yeah, like, you know, like when they're growing, they're not learning how to just you need to dribble, go score. It's like learning how to play, you know, the team way to playing basketball, you know, the right way and just kind of, you know, not just break somebody down and score. You know, it's just learn how to play together, flowing the right way, and you know.
Okay, and then I think something with that is that youth guys, it doesn't seem like they play pickup much anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, yeah.
It seems like you're either playing AAU or you're playing for your high school squad or you're doing like individual training.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think what's beautiful about pickup is you get used to playing with all different types of players. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're on the same AAU squad every year, or if you're on the same high school, like you're in one system, or you're playing with pretty much the same guys. Where in pickup, like, all right, what if I'm going to do if I actually do have a really good screening big man? How can I play off of that? Where if in your normal team, you may not have that. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you play it? Okay, then on defense, I got to play against 5 shooters versus there's only one guy that we have to worry about. Right. Like, I wish younger guys played more pickup because I think it just becomes like, and again, nobody wants to get hurt and don't do anything like run your body ragged or anything like that. But like doing something that you can be a more well-rounded player, not just, hey, I'm a pick and roll guy. Yeah. And if I don't know how to play out within a pick and roll, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do a weak side cut or a slot cut or anything like that, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my thought on that. So.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I feel like pickup helps like with the creativity, you know, just like you could work out and all that all you want. It's just like when you have the live defenders, and that's when you could really try things and kind of see like, okay, this like, you know, this may work, or like, all right, it's not really like, you know,
for sure. Like,
get a feel.
I mean, sometimes especially when you're young, you should be using pickup as kind of like the lab. Yeah. Like, hey, I've been working on this move. Let's try it. Or like, hey, can I do a fade over my left shoulder instead of always going over my right? Like, you know, working on that thing where trying that in the game may not be the best decision, where in pickup it's like, okay, it's just on to the next possession, you know.
Yeah. So. Then it gives you real feel, you know, versus like just going through the drills and stuff. You just, you know, you don't really get real feel. It's different when somebody's there and actually guarding you, and you know. And
you ran up the floor 7 times, so you're tired as hell. You know, like you know, like, so it's stuff like that. So well, good, man. Well, so one of the things you've done as well is you started your own clothing brand called Savage Gear. Yeah. So tell us kind of why you started that, the heart behind it, all that.
I mean, pretty much I've always kind of been into clothes and different things like that. Okay. Like at first it started off where I just made like some shirts, like shorts and sweats and stuff. And then like this past year I kind of like ventured off and kind of like started expanding a little more, going into like hats and different type of jackets, like, you know, bigger jackets, smaller jackets, just, you know, trying to just see all type of different things. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Sweet. Well, how do people find it? Is there a website?
Oh, yeah, I have a website. It's in my Instagram. Okay. Instagram bio.
Okay. You'll be tagged and all that. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just put some new stuff on there probably about 2 month ago.
Sweet.
So
good, man.
Some good stuff on there.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah, I think, and it's something that I like. I have shirts and things like that. Something that's just as constant in the Hooper community is shoes and clothes. Yeah. No matter who you are, if you're a Hooper, you're usually into either clothes or shoes or both or whatever, you know. So, well, good, man. All right, well, so now we're going to get kind of to a more fun question here. Okay. And so you went to UNC. Yep. And so I want to hear what your thoughts are, and I got my own. So if we differ, we're going to talk about it. Okay. We got this fly messing around with us. Yeah, I see. But what are your top 5 players of all time out of UNC?
Okay. I'm saying no order first, but I would say Jordan Davis, I feel like. Jonah Radaball. Okay. Devin, I might say his last name wrong. Beitzel. Yep, Devin Beitzel. And then I would say Dalton Connect, and then I would say me.
Okay, I love it.
I think
I love including yourself. Yeah. I was curious. I asked you because I was like, is he going to include himself?
I thought about it, but you know, I think so.
Okay, so we're pretty close. So I got you. Yeah. I got Dalton. Mm-hmm. I got Jordan Davis. Yeah. We had Devin, and I just because I know him personally, I included Langston. Langston Reynolds, who just graduated, who's going to go to University of Minnesota. But yeah, I included him because I think his growth.
Yeah, he's had a great growth there.
Great, where from where he started to where he kind of ended up during his time at UNC, he definitely put the work in. You can see now he's at a D1, D1 ride. So that's good, man. Well, I appreciate that. So 2 more questions. What's if there's anything you want people to take away from your story, whether you've said it during this interview or not, what is something you want to make sure that people know about you or take away from your story?
Mainly just like, I feel like everybody's route doesn't look the same, Like some people may have the smooth sailing route. Some people, may be a little more bumpy, but I think it's just like figuring out what works for you,
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's always like the guarantee stuff you have to do, like working out and just all that stuff that's given. You have to do that. But like, it's along with it, just understanding that like your progression may not look the same as somebody else's, It's just more like focusing on you and how do you, make yourself better.
For sure, man. I think with a lot of guys in high school now, it's like if I don't go D1 right away, like it's not worth it, or I'm not like I'm not anything. Or like there's a lot of really, really successful pro basketball players. It may not be in the NBA, but we all know how many guys make it to the NBA. That's very, very small.
Right.
So like even if you have to go to JUCO or D2 because of the transfer portal and all that, go do that, grow as a player, all that, then go get your D1 ride and show yourself there and all that. And again, like there's no exact route. It's not 1 + 1 = 2 to have a successful basketball career. Whether you're going to play through college, you're going to try to go play pro overseas or going to the NBA, there's a lot of different paths. It's not just like you said, cookie cutter, where it's like, oh, it's just set out in stone and whatever. Yes. There's those guys are few and far between where it's like from the age of 14, they're like, oh, well, that guy's just going to go wherever he wants D1 and that guy's going to pick where, he's going to get drafted and all that. Like, that's different, man. So I appreciate you saying that because I think especially youth guys need to widen their brain about, hey, if I want to be a successful basketball player, I got to be willing to put the work in no matter what the opportunity that's directly in front of me. Right. Like have faith in yourself and then keep on grinding and you'll find somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. It's just always trying to like be ready for when the moment comes, like you don't want the moment to come and you're like kind of like, oh, I'm not ready. It's like always just trying to like, the moment's going to come. You just got to make sure when it comes, like you're ready to, do your part. Sure,
man. All right. Well, the final question, and sometimes it's the hardest one, is what is your favorite thing about basketball? Pick one thing.
I just think like all the different friendships, just like meeting people from like just all different walks of life and just, creating all these different bonds and just meeting people that like, you just wouldn't normally meet just from if you're just, like meeting people in Hungary or, all these different places. I just think it's like cool to meet different people and just.
For sure, man.
Build relationships.
And isn't it basketball such a beautiful game where you don't even have to speak the same language, but you can hoop together?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely one of the coolest things.
You know what I'm saying? It's just facial expressions and like just reading each other and the chemistry you have like that. I've played in other countries and it's just fun to like, even just like pick up.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't have to say a word to you. Like, okay, I may be confused or because they're trash talking in a different language or whatever, but like, I know how to play, so it's pretty cool, man. So
definitely just meeting the people and just seeing how like it just brings, everyone together, seeing how it simply is just have a pickup game or just being able to play just all these different people from all different, walks of life and just coming together for one.
It's definitely a very awesome thing about the game, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, Daylen, I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
All right,
appreciate it.
Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a switch. Realtor for hoopers, welcome to the main event.